Inshallah, today we will be doing lesson 9. So in lesson 9, we are busy with our letters series, and we'll be finishing very soon in the coming lessons with all the letters. The 4 letters we are doing today, they are indeed all of them special in their own way. Let's look at the first 2. The first one, we can see it looks a bit like a hook. That one is Laam. And this one that looks like a spanner. This one is Meem. Now, these letters are very easy to pronounce in the sense that the sounds are available in the English alphabet. And the challenge, however, with these letters, both of them is going to be with identifying the letter. So we will see with that soon. The next 2 letters we will also do later in the class is these 2, the Thaa and the Thaa. As you can hear, they are heavy letters. So we have a nice mix today of some easy ones, with some challenging shapes, and some other 2 letters that look like the previous Sad and Dad that we spoke about before. However, they just have a kind of a stick on top of it. So easy in its shape, however pronunciation, but inshallah today we are going to solve them as well. Okay, first letter, the letter Lam, and let's focus a bit on this letter. Okay, so if we can say, okay, the letter Lam, it looks like kind of like a hook. Now I want to say this, don't focus on this shape over here on top, right? This shape is not found in all fonts. So for example, most probably when you are reading the Quran, you will not see that shape over there in most fonts, but some fonts you will. I want you to focus on the general shape, right? This semicircle, this half a circle, and the long stick on the side. Okay, the letter Lam. Let's say that the letter Lam, look in a word, nothing too complex. We can see over there, the tail is cut off, just like all the other letters, joins to the left, and it joins on the other side. So we can already see this letter is fully cursive, right? So it just looks like a stick. And we can see over here at the end of a word, it keeps its original shape. However, it's just joined to the side. Now, can anyone tell me which letter does this letter resemble? That come to mind. Is there any letter that you would that you previously got confused between the Lam, this letter, and another letter, or that you can think of? The Alif. Okay, Alif, we're having some Kaf and Alif. Okay, so we're getting a lot of Alif over there, and I want to say it is the letter, it is the letter Alif, but I can see why someone's saying the letter Kaf, and actually that I'm only seeing that now, so that's actually a good answer, because if you look over here, you'd see it takes the same shape. However, the Kaf has something in the middle, right? Okay, but I want to focus on the Alif over here, because the Alif is where it gets tricky. So let's have a look. So let's say we are focused on the Alif. Okay, how do we differentiate between the Alif or between the Lam and the Alif? So let's see. Let's take the Lam over here, and I'm going to give you 2 points that you can focus on, and you might not use all the points, but it will either be one of the 2, right? And there are some other signs as well, but I want to give you signs that it will always work. And if you want to differentiate, you will be able to use one of these 2 signs and differentiate between the Alif and the Lam. Okay, so here's the Lam, there's the Alif over there, right? The first thing, if you look at this word over here, with the letter Lam at the end of the word, we can see the Lam have its shape. It has a hook. Now remember, I said I don't want you to focus on this kind of diamond shape on top. You don't find that in all the fonts. So the Alif and the Lam will look generally the same on top. Okay, that's the Lam. We can see it has a hook, right? A tail, or you can say the tail. Okay, let's look at this word with the Alif at the end, right? So that's Hama, and the other word is Hamala, as we will learn. Hama, see the Alif at the end. Okay, it has nothing on there. That's fine. But I want you to focus on, at the end of the word, the Alif keeps its shape. It doesn't have the tail, right? So I want you to look for the tail. If you see the alif or the lam at the end of the word, if there's a tail, it's lam. If there's no tail, it's alif. Okay. There you can see no tail. Very easy, simple. So the lam has a tail, the alif has no tail. Okay. The second clue is you look at this word here. This is khalafa. Okay, that's a lam there in the middle of the word. Now you can see that the lam is joined both sides. Like any other letter, it lost its tail, right? It's joined on the one side, lost the tail, and it's joined to the next side on both sides. So obviously you can see this letter is fully cursive, right? Remember we said semi-cursive letters, it don't join to the left, only join to the letter before it, not to the left. The lam is most certainly fully cursive. Okay, let's look at, here we go, khafa, there's an alif mad. Okay, can you see that the alif mad is not joined to the letter before, I mean the letter after it, to the left, because we said already the alif mad is semi-cursive, just like the other letters which are semi-cursive, right? So we see the alif joins to the letter before it on the right, it don't join to the letter after it on the left. And that will always be the case, absolutely always. So the second thing is we say that the lam is fully cursive and the alif is semi-cursive. So with these two clues, you will always 100% of the time be able to differentiate. Because if the alif or the lam is in the middle of the word, like this over here, okay, semi-cursive, it's alif, it's not joined to the next letter. Okay, it's joined to the next letter, this is a lam. Okay, if it's at the end of the word, like we looked at before, there, we can see the lam has a tail, the alif has no tail. Okay. And we will see that now when we do, when we read the words and the examples, and then we will see, okay. The letter lam, let's talk about, so we spoke about the shape. It looks kind of like a hook, and it has the L sound, and we can see that from this name, lam, okay? So like learn, lam, learn, the exact same sound in the English light L. Okay, can we have some words, and this is going to be interesting. Can I have some, we need 10 words with the learn sound, love, okay, good, life, excellent, listen, light, perfect, language, loud, lollipop, yes, let's get some more, Allah. Okay, so who said Allah? That was very important actually. Lamis, okay. Lamp, linger, lemon. Okay. Now, let me tell you, let me give you some an important bit of information. Right. So in the English L, and I want to be quick about this, and I don't want to spend too long on this. In the English L, the English L can either be light or it can be, you can say full, right? But they have a term for it. But like if you look at, if you say light, so if the L is in the beginning of the word, right? Light, lamp, tongue is like flat. But once you say like full, tall, bull, full, you see that it's your tongue is actually doing the kind of thing that you do with the full letters in Arabic. Full, bull, tool. So the Arabic lam is not that. It's not the full one. So I know many people, especially if you come from the Afrikaans language, we do say the lam full sometimes. Instead of kul huwallahu ahad, we say kul, kul, or the o, with your L and your tongue is completely curved, like you're saying full and bull, right? So we're going to work on that. We're going to indicate that. But I just want to say that the Arabic lam is always flat, except in one situation, and that's in Allah's name. In Allah's name, you say Allah, and we don't say Allah, right? We don't say Allah, we say Allah. So you actually call it the lam in Allah's name, known, it must be full. Oh. Any other lam is completely flat, okay? But that's just extra information I think is important to mention there. Let's do some examples. Okay. Okay. Lam with a fatha, la. And in a word, we have here khalaqa. Khalaqa. Right? Let's break it up. We have kha, full letter, la, qa. Khalaqa. Right? So don't say khalaqa, because the lam is la. Khalaqa. Okay. Remember, you have to repeat after me. like in the previous lessons. Here we go. Lam with a kasra, li, salifa, sa, li, salifa, salifa. Okay. Lam with the dhamma, lu. See in a word, rasulu. So here we have ra, full ra, rasulu, rasulu means messenger. Rasulu, lu. Okay. Lam with the mad, and the lam have another special feature here. So now you'll see I'm starting with the wow mad. So I need you to focus here as well. Complete focus. Okay. Lam with the wow mad. So we have lu, elongate, lu, right? Nothing special, normal, lu. So like this, qalu, this word. Qa for them, alif mad. Lu, qalu means they said. Okay, see the lam with the yamad, also nothing special. Li, right? Rusuli, rusuli. That means my messengers. Now with the alif mad, the lam should look like this, according to the theory of how all the other letters, right? You have the letter, and it joins to the alif, right? And then the letter will lose its tail, and it just joins, and it should look like that. It should look like that, la, right? Except that it does not look like that. Don't ask me why. We're just going to learn how the Arabs write the Arabic text, right? They came up with it, so let's just learn. But it's going to be very easy, very easy. Let's just remember that the lam with the alif mad has a unique shape, or let's say unique shapes, two shapes. Okay, lam with the fatha plus the alif mad, so it's la. It has two shapes. One shape when it's in the beginning of the word, meaning that there's, or let's say that there's, it's in the beginning of a word, right? That's the best way to put it. And the second way is if it's in the middle of a word. Okay, let's see. It's not too hard. So take a look at this over here. Okay, lam plus the alif mad. Okay, that's how it looks over there, right? It's in that frame, right? So if you look closely, you will see the lam. I made it red. That's kind of the lam. And that's the alif. Now remember, this is not, you can't apply what you've learned previously to this, right? You're not going to make sense about it. You have to learn this kind of as a unit. That's how the lam looks with the alif mad. So that is read as la, right? La. So let's see in a word, la ta. So here we have la. Let's see, that's the lam and the alif mad, la and ta. So that's la ta. So a lot of people get confused with this if you don't purposefully learn write this, right? So that it becomes, even some people even make it a letter in the alphabet because it's so confusing, but it's not confusing, right? So here's the second shape. And if you look at the two, you'll see there's this kind of a pattern that the lam comes first, right? The lam stick will comes first, and then the alif mad will come afterwards, although its shape will change. Okay, let's see how that look in a word, right? So there we go. Salata. So that's the sa over there. There's la with alif mad, and ta. Lata, salata. Yes, like I said, it will confuse him because it's, you can't base what you learned previously on this. You have to just memorize this as is. You have to memorize this shape as la and memorize this shape as la. There's no pattern and there's no particular reason as to why it's like that. But the answer is, once you keep on looking at examples, for example, at the end of this class, after all the examples, because I'm going to bring it in a few times, it will kind of start to sink in, right? So if you feel overwhelmed with it, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And don't feel overwhelmed, and just know that it's something you will get used to. And it's actually, it's found in many words that you know already. You must have seen it before, right? Okay, so let's just make a note on the lam plus the alif has a unique shape. Okay. Let's move on to the lam with a sukoon. So we said the letter with a sukoon, we're going to pronounce the letter with a sukoon with the letter before it as one unit. Okay. So that would be, the lam would be the l plus the sa before it. It's going to be sal, right? Just like that. Sal, as you see it there. Sal, 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 sal. Let's see in a word. There we go. Here's a long word for you. And I put the lam with the alif mad in there. So here this word is salsabila. That's actually a word in the Quran. And some people have that name as well. So here we go. Sal, sa. Another sa. Salsa, bi, salsabi, la. Salsabila. So there's the lam with the alif mad at the end. Can you see it's like copy paste. Its shape, the good news is with this is that its shape don't change really. They don't put it in different styles. It's just like that, right? Salsabila. Alif mad. Okay. Here we go. Fil. Fi plus the lam as one unit. Fil. Look in a word. Fil, fil. Right? Fil. And then again, fil. Fil, fil. So there's actually a word. In Arabic, it means pepper or chili. Fil, fil. Okay, here we go. The word that most of us is one of the first things we learned. Here we have a lam with a qaf before it with a dhamma. Qu plus the l, qul, qul. Now again, if you say qul, try to make your tongue a bit lighter, like when you say light, light, tongue flat, and you say qul, qul. And that's the correct way to say it, right? In qul, like qul huwa Allahu ahad, qul, qul, right? So that's actually one word. It means say. Okay. That's the lam. You know, and that's actually, we covered actually quite a bit in the lam. That's actually a lot. So if you can grapple with that and just learn those things, differentiate between the lam and the alif, and how the lam looks with the alif mad, you sort it with the lam. Okay. Let's move on to the meem. So that we said the meem looks like a spanner. Okay. Now, I told you in the beginning that the letter lam and b, generally, those two letters, they have, in terms of shape, right? They have a bit of learning or a bit of focus, right, in the beginning, until it becomes a pattern. So the meem is the same, right? The meem is a very unique letter in terms of its shape. Sound very simple. So let's look. This is the meem at the end. You see it keep its original shape. There we go. Meem joined to the right. Fine. Let's just look at the meem in the middle of a word. And in the beginning, so here's two memes. Here we go. That's a meme. That's a meme. Obviously, you can see that the shape changed, kind of, right? Besides the tail going away, you can see that that open spanner there was kind of closed, and now it looks more like a nut or like a circle, right? Kind of looks like that, joined on either side. Now, I want to say this. Let me just put the note up there and say the meme has a flexible shape. The meme has a unique shape. So once you focus on the main part of this letter, the shape of this letter is that I would call it as a knot in a rope. Think about it like that. Because sometimes, as this meme look here, sometimes it will be more round. The edges will be more rounded. Sometimes you can say this gap here in the middle, this white gap, sometimes it will even be covered, right? So it's just a complete knot, like a real knot. Sometimes it's like this, something like that. Depending on the font, you're going to see a lot of different shapes of the meme. But if you remember that the meme has a flexible shape, you will always know to look out for it. And when you're always looking out for it, you will find it more likely than not. Because I've seen this when you don't realize that and you kind of just look for the shape, right? And then when you don't see it or when you see a new shape of the meme and become confusing. But if you remember that ruling, and I want you to look at it, look for memes and you'll see different shapes. And if you remember that the meme specifically has a very flexible shape, you generally will find the meme all the time. Okay. Let's do the meme, inshallah. Very simple letter, meme, right? Meme. And as we can see in the name, it starts with a sound, right? like moon. Moon. It's exactly like the M in English. Moon. No difference. So can I get some words with the letter meme? Memory. Perfect. Mighty. Mummy. Yes. Lamise. Perfect. Mollify. Mango. Yes. Mahira. Yes. Master. Fatima. And we're going to do that word also. Fatima. Yes. Perfect. Can I get two more? Everyone out of words. Moment. Ample. Perfect. Right? I like that. Even that last word, ample, because it emphasized the M. Maghrib. There we go. Maghrib. That's what we like. Okay. So let's look at now. Let's apply the short vowels on the meme. Very simple. Alhamdulillah. Let's have a look. Meme with a fatha. Ma. That's it. Ma. Ma. Let's see in a word. Qamaru. Qamaru, which means moon. Qa, remember the qaf has an R sound is full. Qa, ma, ru. Qamaru. Qamaru. So be careful not to say qamaru. Don't let the meme be sandwiched between the qaf and the ra, right? And then you say qamaru. Qamaru. Because only the qaf has the R sound. The meme is ma. Okay. Me. Here we go. Ha, hamil. And this is the word we know. It means pregnant, right? So when we say hamil, I know we pronounce this word differently, specifically in Cape Town. I'm not sure about it in South Africa, right? Hamil, we normally say the ha as a kha, and we say the lam full. We say it hamil. No, the lam is light. Hamil, mil, hamil. Okay, hamil. Okay. Meme with a dhamma, mu, mu, mu. The m plus the u is mu. And in a very easy word, qalamu, qalamu, pin, right? Qala and mu, qalamu. Okay. With the meme, if we add the mad, also very simple. Ma, with alif mad, it's ma, ma. Seen a word, and this is the word we all know, maliki, right? Like in Surah Fatiha, maliki yawmiddin, maliki, maliki, maliki. Perfect. Okay. Me, with the yamad. Like here we go. Shamima, shamima. So that's shamima, shamima, shamima. I'm sure everyone is finding that easy. Moo, right? Like a cow. Moo. Here we go. Thamudu, thamudu, thamudu. So that's the people of Prophet Salih alayhi salam. He went sent to the people of Thamud. Thamudu. Okay. Meme with a sukoon. Very simple. The m sound of the meme plus the la before it as one unit. Lam. 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 So not lam, not lam, right? Lam like L-U-M. No. Lam. La. Because the fatha sound is the ah sound. Lam. Okay. Here we go. Fa. Lam. Fa. Lam. Fa. Lam. Fa. Lam. Okay, here we go. Kam. The ka plus the m is one unit. Kam. Kam. Here we go. Become. 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 And many of you will recognize that sound. It basically means how much, right? Kum. Here we go. Also a kaf with a ku. Kum. Kum. kum, kum, right? And here's the word, razaqakum, right? So here you can see the full letters is at play here. Razaqakum, razaqakum. Can you see how my mouth is moving back and forth? Because I'm applying the full letters, right? Razaqakum, razaqakum, right? So ra, za, ra, za, qa. So razaqakum, razaqakum. He has granted you sustenance. That's what that means. Why is the meme at the end not closed on top? Okay, so I said in the just earlier when we spoke about the shape of the meme, right? That the meme has two shapes. So in the middle of a word, the meme will be closed, right, and look like a knot. And at the end, it will have this shape. So the meme it has two primary shapes. One that it's open at the end, and then the other one is in the middle of a word. It's closed. It looks like a knot. And I said, and I will repeat this again, that the meme has a very flexible shape, to the extent that even in some fonts, you might find the meme at the end is closed, right? So you don't want to be surprised when you see that. Just remember, the meme specifically has a flexible shape. Okay, that brings us to the end. I hope that clarified the one who asked the question. We're going to move on now to the letters Thaa and Va. Okay. Is everyone fine so far? How did you find the letter Laam and Meem? Knowing that the letter Laam and Meem are letters that are easy, but there's in terms of identification, it's very important letters. Very important. It can actually halt your reading from confusion, seeing a Laam with an alif mad. What is that? Right? And the meme as well. Seeing the meme as well in sometimes look like a small knot, sometimes it's a big knot, sometimes, you know. But alhamdulillah, I think everyone should be okay, right? And remember, this is the foundations classroom. So I give you the foundations, and I expect that when you go look further on and apply, that questions will arise, but that questions you should be able to answer yourself, right? With thinking, and that is what we really want. The letter Thaa. Let's move on to the letter Thaa. So I'm sure many people are scared of this letter. Let's discuss its shape firstly. Very easy. There's nothing to discuss about this letter. Just like it's the other letters, in the beginning of a word, it will join to the left, like a good fully cursive letter. In the middle of a word, over there, you can see it's just joined to the other side as well. At the end of a word, it will keep its original shape, which actually nothing really changed, except there it's not joined to the letter before, because before it is a semi-cursive letter, the alif, which does not join to the letter after it. So that's why the Thaa is standing on its own. But generally, you could see the shape doesn't change. Now, I think there's a reason why they made this letter so fixed in its shape, because its pronunciation is a bit tricky, right? So with the Meem and the Laam, they said, we're going to make it up there. Okay. Let me tell you something about the letter Thaa. Inshallah, let's try to solve the letter Thaa today. So the letter Thaa, right? Let me tell you something about it. It's called Thaa. Now the letter Thaa does not have an English equivalent, right? But it does have an Arabic equivalent. There's a letter in the Arabic alphabet that is very close to the letter Thaa. All you have to do is the same pronunciation, just add something that we already discussed already. So I'm pretty sure that everyone in this class will be able to pronounce this letter, inshallah. If not, you'll get it with practice. The letter Ta, so that's right, Muhammad Riza. The letter Ta in the letter Thaa comes from the exact same place, Ta, Ta. The difference between the Ta and the Thaa is that the Thaa is, let me put it this way, it's heavy. Okay, that's fine. We're going to explain what that means. Righto. The first thing about the letter Ta and Thaa is that Ta is empty. Ta, ta, ta. No, Thaa is full. It has the R sound. That's number one. That's not it. It's just number one. R. Right? So ta, ta, ta. There's a fatha. Ta. No, Thaa is a fatha. Not going to be ta. It's going to be Thaa. So the R sound like ra, rock, Thaa. Okay. R. You got that? Fine. What's the main difference between the ta and the ta? It's the same like between the sin and the sad, right? So let's go back. Let's use an example. Sa, 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 right? Flat tongue. With a sad, we said spoon or bowl tongue. So sa, 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 right? Sa, sa, my tongue is flat. Sa, sa. Like watch here with the sad. Sa, sa. My tongue, you can see the bit of caving in the middle. That's the difference between the sin and the sad. The difference between the ta and the ta is the exact same thing. Ta, 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 ta. So if your ta sounds like this, ta, 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 ta. If your ta sound like that, you just need to cave your tongue in the middle, cave it in a little, like a spoon, right? Or like a bowl, and pronounce it like this. Ta, 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 ta. That is the pronunciation of the letter ta. Without that, you can't pronounce ta no matter what. You won't be able to pronounce it by hearing me and trying to imitate on its own if you're not doing that. Okay, so can you just try it and then indicate who is getting somewhere, right? So ta, 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 oh, ta, 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 with a flat tongue, ta, ta, ta. Whose ta is sounding a bit better when you're doing the ta, ta with a bowl tongue or a spoon tongue? You can just get some indication who is getting somewhere, who is hearing some difference in their ta, right? Okay. If you are hearing a difference, I want to tell you that you have found the letter ta. You don't have to be confident. You don't have to panic. You found the letter ta. If you are saying ta, 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 and then you're doing this with your tongue, right? You bowling it like this, ta, ta. You see my tongue is bold, ta, right? It's caved in the middle. If you are doing that and you're hearing a difference, you found the letter ta, there's no need to panic further. Okay. Ta, ta, ta is the incorrect way with a bold tongue. Ta, 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 ta. Okay. With the kasra, it's going to be the same thing, right? But it becomes a little more challenging. So say T with the ta. T, T, T. Tongue is flat. T, T, T. Okay. Ta. T, T, T. T, T, T. Right? T, T, T. The only difference is that my tongue is like that. So T, 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 T. So if your ta is not sounding like T, maybe it sound like tui or it sound like T, T. That's all fine because your jaw it's difficult to say a kasra with these heavy letters, right? But with practice, it gets better. But if you can hear the difference between the T and T, T, T because of your tongue, again, like I said, be confident that you found the letter ta. And with practice, it will become perfect. Okay, so let's do some words. Let's practice what we just spoke about. Okay, the letter ta with the fatha is going to be full, like I said now, right? Ta, ta, ta. Right, instead not ta, ta, tongue a bit curved in the middle, but caved. Ta, ta, ta. Okay, ta, ta. You don't have to make it extremely hard. You don't have to say ta, right? You can just say ta. If you do your tongue right, the letter will come out no matter how hard you press. Ta, ta, ta. Or how soft you press. Ta, ta, ta. Ta, 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 ta. So the issue is not about pressing harder and, it's about keeping your tongue in the right position. And I cannot emphasize that enough. Okay, ta. Let's see in a word. Ta, ba, qa. The qa also, ah. Ta, ba, qa. Right, so not ta, ba, qa. Ta, ba, qa. So I have to give the ba its due. It's not full. Ta, ba, qa. Ta, ba, qa. Okay. Here we go with the T. So again, if you struggle, you start with T, like a ta. T, T, T. Then you start try to play with your tongue and curve it and say T, 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 T. Then you found the ta, and then you say T, like here, fa, Fatima, Fatima. So if your name is Fatima, you should be able to pronounce your name with a ta, right? Because that's the word. Fatima, Fatima. So fa, ti. Remember, curved tongue, same like T, but curve your tongue. Ti, ma. Fatima, Fatima. Okay. There we go. Again, so tu is very hard to pronounce because the dhamma in itself is difficult to pronounce. And you add the ta in there, it can be challenging. But what we want to focus on is whether you are curving your tongue and you are hearing a difference between the ta and the ta, because that's when we'll know if you're saying the ta and the ta correctly. If your jaws, if your tongue is not used to the sound, you don't want to use that and think, oh, I can't say the ta and the ta because I'm struggling, right? Rather say, I got the ta and the ta. I need more practice if I want to make it perfect and impromptu where I can say the ta perfect anytime. Yes, that's realistic. But what you want to focus on is, can I say the ta and the ta? Do I know the difference? Can I pronounce it even if I struggle? Remember, that's the focus. So, tu with a flat tongue, curve your tongue. Tu. So, tu. Okay. And so that is why I just say tu. You're not sure what I'm doing inside my mouth. But I guarantee you the only difference between the tu and the tu is the tongue being curved, right? Okay. Let's see in a word. Here we go. So, turuqa, 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 turuqa. Okay. That means streets or pathways. Okay. With alif mad, same thing. Ta, we're just going to elongate. Ta, 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 ta. Right? So if you struggle with the letter, don't emphasize too much. Don't say it too hard because you're going to hurt your tongue too soon. We still have a few words to go. Ta, like in the surah in the Quran, Surah to Tariq. Tariqa. Tariqa. And we done in the previous lesson, the letter qaf, we said it has a jerk sound when it has a sukoon, like qa, 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 right? Tariqa. Tariqa. So not tariq, tariqa, and not tariq, the kaf. Tariqa. 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 Right? So it would sound like this. وَالسَّمَاءِ وَالطَّارِقِ. Right? You can see the ta and the riq. Okay. Ti again. So you're saying the ti. So you say, first start with ti, 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 flat tongue. Ti, 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 ti. Perfect. Ti. Here we go. Khatibu. 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 Right, so that's actually mean the person delivering a khutbah. Okay. Tu. So generally all the difficult letters like these, heavy letters, when it has a kasr and a dhamma, you don't find them much in the Quran. So that's a good thing. Also in the Arabs, when they speak generally, they don't use these difficult letters with the kasr and the dhamma so much. It's very rare. So like even this here, tu, it's very rare. I struggle to find a word that has that combination in the Quran, right? So, but nevertheless, we get it. Tu. So instead of tu, curve the tongue. Tu. Right? And I can imagine that being a challenging letter, but keep on practicing. So, tuba. So instead of tuba. Okay, tuba. And here we go, interesting, with the letter ta. As if it wasn't challenging enough, they decided to add in there, well, you know, because a letter ta, if we add it, say it with a sukoon, like in this case here, fit, right? Fi plus ta, fit, Complete blockage, the letter's gone. And so we need to add a jerk. And I'm going to say this is the last letter with a jerk. There are only 5. This is the last one. We completed all the letters of the jerk so far. So no need to worry. This is the last one. Okay. So fito. So instead of fit, there's a verb before the fi plus it. Fit. No. Fito. Now, how do I say the to sound? Few things in there. The first thing, you have to start with a like a ta, right? Ta, 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 like as if there was a bounce on the ta, 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 like tuff, ta, ta. Now just say that exact sound with your tongue curved. Ta, ta, ta. So ta, 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 curve your tongue, ta, 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 and that's it. Feel ta. Now, obviously saying that in a flow like that, we'll need some practice, but just try to get that sound now, right? So fi plus si po. So ta ta ta, curve the tongue, po. Fito, 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 fito. Okay, who got that? Who can say that sound? The last letter with a jerking sound. How's Muhammad Riza doing? He likes these letters. Okay, that's good. Kind of got it. Almost. Lovely. Right? Filter. Filter. So ta ta ta. You're going to curve your tongue. Ta ta ta. Filter. Filter. Okay. Let's do a word. Right? Here we go. Filter. 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 Right? Fitra, 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 right? So that is actually fitra, is like Eid al-Fitr, right? Is actually like that. Fitra, fitr. So we do say Eid al-Fitr, we say fitr, right? So we are making a bounce there, but we should say ta instead of ta. Fitr, fitr, right? Okay, fitra. Okay, here we go. Khuta, again, khuta. Khuta. So ta, 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 ta. Just curve your tongue. The most important part of the ta is the curving of the tongue. Khuta, 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 khuta. Okay, let's see this word. Khutaba, khutaba. Ta, right? So not khutba, khutaba. Okay, like you go on Friday and you listen to the khutaba, khutaba. That's the pronunciation of khutaba. Okay. Khito, right? Khi plus to, khito, khito. Okay. Khitoba, khitoba. Again, the to from to, khitoba, khitoba. Now, khitoba actually means engagement. You see how it changed just by changing the vowel, changing a haraka, the whole word change. Khitoba. Okay. Khitoba, khitoba. The last letter va. Now, the good news about the letter va is that it follows the exact same system of the letter ta. The exact same thing. So let's apply it while we're in the motion, right? So if your tongue is tired, give it one last push, right? Let's just look at the letter va. It's exactly like the letter ta. In the beginning of a word, it keeps its shape perfectly. Just join to the letter on the left. The middle of a word, you can see it's joined on both sides. Same shape like a sod or dot with a stick. And at the end of the word, also going to keep its shape. Fine. The letter va, don't have an equivalent in the English language. But like the ta, it has an equivalent in the Arabic language. Oopsie, I was supposed to ask for that. But anyway, it's the letter dhal. Dhal. Just like ta and ta is related. Same place, different shape of the tongue. The va and the dhal is the exact same thing. Same pronunciation, but different shape of the tongue. So let's try that. Okay. So go with me, say the, right? So your tongue need to be like in line with your teeth. So not too much out, not and not in. Just on the edge, right? Just like that, right? Okay. The. Now let's make it full because the va is full as well. The. The. So many might be saying it like this. The. Can you see it sound kind of like a dal? The. Now let me say it with my tongue. Right. So the. The. Do it again. The, 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 the. So note that my tip of my tongue is on the same place. The, my tongue is different. It's doing that, right? So just try that. Everyone try that. The, with a flat tongue. And then you suddenly go into the, with your tongue like that. And let us know if you get it. Who is finding it? Who's seeing a difference between the dal and the va? The, va. And that's the va over there. Right? So the, incorrect, va. Right? So yes, so Muhammad Riza, you could say the, but you see, just by saying the, you're only making it full. You're only making the R sound, right? If you just say the, you're just basically saying a dal with the R sound, the. You have to add the tongue curving to become va. You see a bit of that heaviness, right? So the, va. And you can see my tongue is curving in, right? Sides of the tongue is touching the teeth. So the sides of the, no, that's the front area. Not the side. If it is touching, it's fine. You know, it's just about how's the letter sounded, right? Because your tongue, when it's in your mouth, it will touch many things, and very difficult to kind of like, you know, say now what should that happen there. But what we focus on is where is the sound coming from, right? Where is the sound coming from? What point touches what point produces the sound? There might be, the tongue might be touching other places, but it doesn't affect the sound, right? So, but like I said, you say the dal because it's the correct place. Then you say it on the R pattern, the, and then you add the tongue, va, and then you'll find the vod, the crisp and correct and eloquent va, right? So, okay. So let's do some words, right? So it's like a heavy dal. And notice I'm using the word heavy, not full. Because heavy, I mean like your tongue is sinking in because it's so heavy, right? I hope that helps, right? Okay. Let's do some words. Right? So va is a full letter. Now we already completed the letters with a jerk. Now this is the second last letter, which is full. Next lesson, we'll do the last one, right? Okay. Va. So it's full and also heavy. The tongue being making like a bowl shape, which is the primary core of this letter. Va. Okay. Va. Here we go. Zalama. So not zalama, zalama. You have to switch quickly to the empty lam. Zalama. Okay, which means to oppress, or he was oppressed. Zalama. And you can see the lam over here. Can you see the lam is joined to the left, fully cursive? This is a lam. Zalama. Okay. Again, the same like the ta. You first say the, then you add the bowl shape, the, right? It's a bit challenging, focus on the shape of your tongue. The, who's hearing a difference when they practice that? When they focus on the shape of their tongue. Flat tongue, the, curved tongue, the. Okay, you got that. That is brilliant. So if you didn't get it, the important thing is that you understand what I'm saying. If you don't understand, you absolutely need to let me know. You need to message me, contact me. I will explain it to you. You need to understand what I'm saying, because that is what you're going to take with you and practice for the rest of your journey, pronouncing the Arabic letters, right? So the, The. Okay, let's see in a word here. Dhil, which means shadow. Now also, the letter Dhad specifically with a kasra is very difficult to find words in Arabic with a Dhad with a kasra. I really struggled. So don't be too intimidated by it. But nevertheless, this is dhil, dhil, dhil into into the lamb. Here we have dhu. Again, dhu. That's a dal. Add the tongue. Dhu. It should get that sound. So dhu. Dhu. Shape of the tongue. Okay. Let's see a word. Here we go. Dhufura. So instead of dhufura, dhufura, shape of the tongue. Dhufura. Dhufura. Okay. Let's see with the alif mad, right? Dha. Dha. So not the, dha. Dha. Okay. Dhalimu. Dhalim. Sorry. Dhalim. So I wanted to show you here. Here we have an alif and a lam after it. So we can see the alif is not joined to the letter after it. And there's the lam. It is joined to the letter after it. Right? So dhalim. Dhalim. That means oppressor. Okay. Again, the. So the with the tongue, to a word, kalimi, right? So not kadhimi, kalimi, the tongue, kalimi, right? And you can see over here the meme is looking a bit shady over there. It's moving the kasra and doing weird things. Kadhimi. Okay. Worthy well mad. Dhu. Again. So we're not dhu. You just add the tongue. Dhu. Lima. Perfect. This is what the va is perfect. One of the letters that need a lot of practice, and the ta. Okay. With the sukoon, right? So again, it's like you're saying tadh. However, you're going to add the tongue. Tadh is a flat tongue. That's it. Dal. Va. You see that? And so I move my tongue down, the word come out. Okay, this one needs a lot of practice. Let's see, here we go. Limu. That means to oppress. The ta plus limu. Okay, here we go. Mouth, right? So ma plus mouth. So not mouth. Bring the tongue down. Mouth. This is very challenging, but keep practicing. Mouth, not mouth. So you go from the to. Yes, so I'm going to take questions now at the end of the class. Sorry, we're going to end right now. Mazlumu. So mazlumu is a dal. Mazlumu, right? Mazlumu. Okay. Fil. Instead of fil. That's going to be hafiz, right? So like a hafiz, the person memorized the Quran. Hafiz, it's a word at the end, right? So instead of hafiz, we're going to say hafiz. We're just going to sink our tongue in. Hafiz. feel. Okay. And that ends with that. Ha feel. I hope you all practice that well and get somewhere with that. And let me know how you do. Let me take some questions. Anyone have any specific issues